Wasbir, a situation escalating again. What are the options before the centre and the Manipur government under these circumstances?
Yes, Pooja, you see, this is a situation that is extremely sensitive and delicate for only the government to handle. The only option before the first big option before the government is to get the two communities talk to each other. And with that objective, the union government has set up a 51-member peace committee with the governor of the state as the chairperson. Now, the point is, now it looks that this peace committee has already become a non-starter, because while the Kuki group said that they were shocked at the presence of Chief Minister N. Biren Singh in the peace committee, because they are accusing Chief Minister Biren Singh and his government of perpetrating the atrocities, as they call it. This is the allegation leveled by the Kukis. Now, as far as the Métis are concerned, a top group like the Kokomi, top civil society group like the Kokomi has pulled out of the peace committee. They are saying that first action needs to be taken on narco-terrorists, as they say, and illegal immigrants. So they are saying that, implying that it is a possible drug lobby that is behind the unrest in Manipur. So the Kokomi pulled out, saying that action first needs to be taken against the narco-terrorists and the illegal migrants. Now, with that strong views expressed by Kokomi and strong views expressed by the Kuki groups, now in the middle of this we find two top leading personalities withdrawing from the peace committee. One is Ratan Thiam, a celebrated playwright. Ratan Thiam, he has just pulled out. We have just played his comments, his reaction to you a short while ago, viewers. And now we are getting to hear that Makhan Mani Masangwa, a well-known filmmaker, has also pulled out of the peace committee. So now the big question is, and Makhan Mani Masangwa, sources close to him are saying that he was not consulted before his name was put in the list, and so on and so forth. But point is, leading personalities pulling out, leading civil society groups pulling out, that means the peace committee has almost become a non-starter. Now, secondly, that is option one. Option one, now the challenge before the government is how to put the peace committee, how to move the peace moves into action. Now, the peace committee has to be formed, the both sides has to talk to each other face to face. I think without that, I think considering the magnitude of the divide, considering the manner in which the fault lines have been drawn between the Kukis and the Métis, I think it will be rather difficult for peace to return to Manipur. And on top of that is the lot of factors that, because the 10 Kuki MLAs, they are in the hills now, they are not in the valley. So there is among the political class also, there is no direct face-to-face meeting between the Kuki elected representatives and the rest of the elected representatives in the state. So these are factors that needs to be overcome immediately.
Now, Wasbir, why do you think the violence along the foothills could not be brought under control despite the presence of around 60,000 security personnel in the state?
That is the question. That is the question which everyone is asking. There are an estimated 60,000 security personnel on ground under deployment at this point in time. Let me try to give you the breakup. These are rough figures. 40,000 army, police and paramilitary, 40,000 additional army and paramilitary forces which have been airdropped in Manipur after the violence began on the 3rd of May. Apart from that, there are about 18,000 total Manipur policemen, out of which 10,000 are armed policemen. That brings the figure to 50,000. And there were already about an estimated 10,000 Assam Rifles personnel on the ground. So that brings the total number of security forces under deployment in Manipur is 60,000. Now the big question why everyone is asking is, why are these 60,000 troops on the ground not able to contain the situation? There are several reasons for that. One is that the civilian population, it is not a war that the army, police and paramilitary can go and tackle with a firm hand, with an iron hand. So that is not possible, because they have to see that civilian population is not harmed in order to tackle the gunfight among armed people on both sides. Now, this is a serious challenge, and we are also getting reports, we are trying to confirm this, that whenever the army goes to deal with a situation, some civilian population population, blocks their roads, blocks the obstruction in many parts of the valley. Now, why is this happening? So some people who noticed, like contacted, said that they have lost trust in some of the security forces. But this is something which is not expected, because the security forces are there to bring the situation to normality. These are central forces. They have no stakes in Manipur. That is something the trust has to come back. How the trust comes back is a huge challenge. Now the present, there were about 4,000 weapons which were looted in course of the violence, and about 5 lakh rounds of ammunition were looted. Now we are getting reports that 1,000 of these looted weapons have since been either handed over or recovered. That means 3,000 weapons of the likes of incest rifles and AK-47 assault rifles are still in the hands of the civilian population. Now, when you have 3,000 sophisticated weapons in the hands of the civilian population, anybody can pick up some guns and anybody can target each other, killings and counter killings taking place. Now, there are allegations by the civil society leaders and others in the valley that the cookie rebel groups could be involved in this kind of a violence, because otherwise none of the civilian population may not have that kind of sophisticated weapons or training to have such kind of accurate firing. This is something which the cookie groups, which are under SOO, have denied a couple of weeks ago, when this allegation was leveled at that point of time as well. Now, these are issues which are very, very tricky issues, and the situation appears to have definitely gone out of hand. And now the challenge is mounting before the government, how to bring the two sides to talks and diffuse the crisis.